Guys, happy Monday. Welcome to What's Hot. Today we're going to talk about home warranties, so stay tuned.
You better get fired up.
What's going on? Happy, what is it, Monday? I just said Monday. Happy Monday, man. I'm a single dad right now. My wife went to Washington, D.C. with her girlfriends for the weekend, and so I'm sitting here as a single dad running a real estate business, and I got two little girls, and today's their last day, and I got a dog, and I got to get dishes done. It's been a little hectic, so I'm on Superman mode here for till tomorrow night. But I want to get to what's hot in today's real estate market. And as it's becoming a bit of a softening market here in Port St. Lucie, you're seeing a lot of sellers and their listing agents get more creative on how to attract buyers to their listings. And one of those things that we're seeing in terms of creativity is offering a home warranty, right? Especially on lower price properties. And I'll tell you why in a second. We're seeing that pop up a little bit more often. Or if it's not popped up in the listing as an offering, it's something that when we get to inspection and we have different issues, it's a solution to some of those issues, which in a lot of cases makes a lot of sense, right? So then the question is, okay, what does a warranty cover and what typically is a warranty going to cost? So there's a million different warranty companies out there. They all cover different things, but typically they're going to cover all of your basics, right? And some of these things are add-ons. Some of these things come in the base price. It really depends upon the company that you work with. The company that I tend to work with most often, in fact, when I say tend to, I think it might be the only one I've ever worked with, is southfloridahomewarranty.com. You can go there and their packages are pretty typical. They do offer a little bit more, I think, than most. But their packages start at $6.99 and they go all the way up to $13.99. It's a one-time fee. And that's for a 12-month warranty. Although if you do an inspection through certain companies, right? I use DBJ Inspections, love them. If you do a home inspection with them, you can get 18 months of warranty for the 12-month price, which is pretty dang cool. So again, that's $700, $699, up to $1,400, one-time payment, and it covers all those different things. So it depends on two things, at least with this program, but most of them, it depends on two things. Number one, how much square footage does your home have? Because the bigger the home, the more it's going to cost. And number two, what is the deductible that you're looking for? And neither of the deductibles are very high. I think one deductible is $75 and another one is like 125 or 150 or something like that. So they're both pretty low deductibles. But now if you have any issue that's covered, you pay that $75 to $150 deductible. They came out, they take care of it, and you're good to go, right? It cost you $75 to $150 instead of maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 or more dollars. So it's kind of cool. So typically things that are covered are appliances. If you've got any type of leak, whether it's a plumbing leak or a roof leak, electrical issues, anything that was good at the time of inspection and now it's not good, it is typically going to be covered. Two things that typically aren't covered are pools and septics, although you can get those as add-ons with some companies to include South Florida Home Warranty. By the way, I don't have any connection to southfloridahomewarranty.com. So, I've never met them in person. I've just used their warranties and compared to what else I've seen online, I think they're the best option I've found. But pools you can add on, and then they'll cover, any issues you would have with your pool as well. You can add on septics. So if you've got any septic issues, they'll take care of that. And in fact, I think if you have the septic package, there's a fee you can pay, a much smaller fee, and they'll actually get it pumped for you, right? So there's a lot of different things that they'll do. So who would I recommend should have a warranty and who would I recommend shouldn't? Well, first of all, you got to remember these warranty companies, I mean, it's essentially insurance, right? They're there to make money. So when you look at car insurance, home insurance, health insurance, whatever it is, what you're paying in has to be more than what they're paying out, or they're not going to have a sustainable business. So if you've got the money to cover a broken fridge or a leak in your plumbing, then I would say don't get the warranty. You can self-insure, right? We keep calling it a warranty, but it's insurance. You can self-insure or self-warranty. You don't need that added help. But if you're in a situation, a lot of times where I'll get people who are maybe buying in that $250,000 to $400,000 range, and maybe they're taking all their cash or the majority of their cash to put it for down payment and closing costs. They got, excuse me, they got to pay for an inspection. And with all that included, they're not left with what I'd say is a comfortable amount of cash. So instead, they can pay something that they can control, that they are comfortable with, that's $700 to $1,400. And now for a year, they're covered if any one of those issues pops up. It's a much more palatable amount that you can take on. And you can even negotiate it. If you've got a bunch of issues, I use this as a list agent. If we have a bunch of issues during the inspection, and some of these issues really aren't issues, it's just you not liking the fact, it's almost always the AC. It's a fridge that's old, or an AC that's old, or a water heater that's old, but it's working in perfect condition. And you want us to replace the $8,000 to $10,000 AC. Not a lot of sellers are going to say yes to that. It's working perfectly fine. But what we will do is we'll pay for a $700 to $1,400 home warranty. And now if that becomes a problem, you pay the small deductible and boom, you've got a brand new AC, right? So you're covered. And if you want to keep re-upping that plan, you can keep re-upping that plan annually. And if we did the inspection through DBJ, we can get you 18 months for the 12-month price, which is great. It's a much more affordable way to protect yourself in those types of situations. So that's something that we have used as a negotiation tool, but even you as a buyer, if you're looking at it and maybe the seller won't negotiate, or maybe you just don't want to have to shell out 5, 10, 15 grand for a different issue. So you would prefer to shell out 700 to 1400 one time. It's an insurance plan that's going to cover you in a lot of different cases. Now, again, all these different warranty programs are going to be a little bit different. So you're going to see this one covers, these 23 items, and this one covers these 27 items, but 6 of them are different, and whatever. So you got to look at the particular plan, but most of them are going to cover the things that tend to pop up. Appliances, roof leaks, AC issues tend to be the biggest ones. And again, as long as they're in good condition at the time that you are getting the warranty, most of those things, generally speaking, are going to be covered with most of these plans. So guys, hopefully that's a helpful insight into when you would want to use a home warranty, why you would use it, what it covers, and how much it costs. If you've got any additional questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Thanks for joining me. As always, we're here every single Monday for what's hot in the Port St. Lucie market. Thanks again. Have a great day.